Welcome to our tutorial about using constraints. First, let's create a sketch. Something like this. And let's close it off like this. Right-click and done. Now let's apply some constraints. Let's begin with a tangency. This side already has tangency. If I try to apply it a second time, I'll get a warning message. Let's cancel out. Next, let's use the vertical constraint. Let's apply it here. When I try to apply it here, again I get a warning message. The reason for this is that these two lines are parallel to each other. Let's check it out. Right-click, select Done. Now right-click again and select Show All Constraints. As you see, these two lines are parallel to each other, and this line has a vertical constraint. Let's hide all the constraints. Right-click, Hide Constraints. Now let's continue and apply a few more constraints. We're going to use a horizontal constraint here and a horizontal constraint here. Next, let's apply an equal constraint. We'll make these two lines equal. Let's use a perpendicular constraint between these two lines. And between these two lines. Right-click, Done. I can simply grab and drag this line here. If we want to see constraints on a specific segment, simply click Show Constraints. And if I, for example, select this line or do a drag selection, once again, if we want to see all constraints, right-click and Show All Constraints. Now, if I want to delete all the constraints, I right-click and select Delete Constraints. Okay, let's right-click and hide all of these constraints. And lastly here, I'm going to anchor my sketch to the origin point. I'll use the Project Geometry tool and then select the center point. Now we see the center point appears right here. Let's apply a coincident relationship. Select this point and this point. Right-click and Done. Of course, so the sketch becomes more stable, we do need to dimension it here. Let's exit this sketch, return. Now right-click and delete the sketch. Okay, select Tools from the main menu, Application Options. Here, let's check the box Auto Project Part Origin on Sketch Create. Apply and close. If I create a new sketch now on the, let's say, XY plane, you'll see that we already have a point created here. Let's create a two-point rectangle. Scroll down. Select Coincident, and again I'll select this point and this point. And this concludes our tutorial on using constraints.